Listen, time and time again, Genshin come up with surveys that typically ask for, answers to questions that realistically they should know the answer to. However, this latest survey is a pretty damn interesting one. But before we get into this video, I do want to just say, take this information in this survey with a massive grain of salt, dude. I haven't seen the video yet, but looking at the first page of this on Arnold's video here, guilds are finally coming to Genshin Impact. I would be surprised if they do end up coming to Genshin Impact. I don't know the scope of this, so I'm going to let Arnold explain it. He's already done the survey, and I will be taking the survey today. But let's take a look.
Looking ahead, which of the following best describes your ideal way to interact with friends in Genshin Impact? And the option that they have here, establish large communities like guilds or unions with a unified name and activities.
So this is looking ahead. Which of the following best describes your ideal way of interacting with friends? So it's not talking about right now, it's like what you would want in the future.
That sounds like a guild, clan tags, and leaderboards slash like guild dailies, guild weeklies, guild monthly goals. I want this so badly. So I just came across some pretty interesting information.
I have been saying this for the longest time, dude. Okay, before we get into it then, it's 14 minutes long and it's going to go into a lot of information, but I want to give my general thoughts and principles around this kind of subject. I am a big fan of MMOs. I'm a big fan of the gameplay loop of MMOs, including guilds and doing group activities like raids and things like that. If Genshin Impact incorporated that as optional things, I would absolutely love it. However, this game is never going to be an MMO. It's not. The scope of multiplayer and co-op in Genshin right now is limited to 4 people, and I don't see them going further than 4 people. If they did, that would be an incredible thing if done correctly. I don't know how easy that would be to do, but I do think it could be done. It says large communities, not just a group chat with 4 members. I would very much like it. I am definitely not getting my hopes up for this, though, when there's so many other things that have been asked for such a long time that have not been implemented. My hopes for this are next to none actually happening. I think the closest we will get to this is the UGC game mode.
Weeklies,
but let's see.
guild monthly goals. I want this so badly. So I just came across some pretty interesting information regarding inquiry about future content for Genshin. I know this is not my reaction to the Nodcry web event. I am still editing the video. You guys can see it in the back.
Jesus Christ, bro. The amount of editing this is in.
I did get a little bit burnt out over the last couple of days editing and compiling and recording this. I know that there's
feel that 3 videos a day is tough, bro.
Dropping some other videos. 5.8's a couple of days away, so just please be patient. This video should be out in another 1 to 2 days. Hopefully you guys are still interested in checking it out even after 5.8 comes out, but that is not the topic of this video. I just wanted to put a disclaimer out there because people are asking me every time I type or tweet or post something that's not the web event reaction. So just be patient. That video is coming. But this is really important for those of you who are interested in multiplayer co-op focused content.
I'm curious, for y'all in the comments of this YouTube video, can you let me know in the comments if you are interested in multiplayer in Genshin Impact in general, or if you would rather this game just stay mainly a single player focused story experience? I'm just curious.
Particularly guilds coming to Genshin Impact, because at the time of recording right now, there is an exclusive survey on the Hoyo Lab site that apparently a lot of users have been pinged. I learned about it from people in my Discord, and it's
only on the Hoyo Lab site and not in game.
Wanted to signal boost this to kind of let you guys know, but given the fact that there is a survey specifically asking for guild related information is huge. It's another big deal for me personally, because 3 years ago my community and I did a stream where we were giving our lists of feedback, criticism, quality of life suggestions for the game. And I mean, I've been advocating even before we made this list. We did this around version 2.5, which was about 3 years ago, and
yeah, we still have things here. Add a skip all dialogue and cutscene option. Yeah, it's the quality of life is something. It is something, but a lot of this stuff has been added, so let's take a look.
And like, we had a ton of listings, but a lot of these things have made their way into the game over the last 3 years. But I have personally been advocating for like more cooperative play, more things to do with community members and people that
this is interesting. What do y'all think about this, bro? What do y'all think about a bank or trading system in the game? Oh god, I think that could become disastrous very, very quickly. I would personally love it. I think it'd be a good thing, and you could help out a lot of free-to-play players and stuff if you're a whale and shit, right? I mean, I think it'd be a good addition, but I doubt they would ever add that.
Play the game with, especially since they have a multiplayer component to the game that they don't really utilize, and it's not exactly fulfilling as I would wish it to be. And so 3 years ago, at the bottom here, I made suggestions for guilds. I mentioned add a guild system that enables more cooperative playing.
Hey, this is a shameless little personal life plug right now. Guys, I've been playing Elder Scrolls Online again. If anybody's on the EU server of Elder Scrolls Online, let me know down in the comments below. I need more people to play it with, bro. It's so fun.
Community rewards, and to add dailies, weeklies, and monthly guild goals, a bank/trading system, guild reputation, guild leaderboards, raid bosses, the works, right?
It'd be great.
Give people a reason to kind of bring their communities together, do cooperative events, allow more people to make friends and to kind of like group and collab together.
I reckon this survey is mainly aimed about the UGC, the user-generated content mode, personally, and I really do. I wish I had more hope or more faith for this kind of thing entering the main game. I really wish I did, but I feel like I just can't, bro.
And have like a clan tag and, you know, have some like representation within the game beyond just, you know, your own YouTube videos or Twitch streams or whatever the case might be. This is established in many like MMOs and like other gacha games that I played. Like I think Knights Chronicle was a gacha game that I played before Genshin. I played it briefly because they had a Ruby collab in it, and my main channel heavily focused on Ruby, and like that had a guild, and I thought that was really cool, and I made a guild and I named it, and my community followed me, and there was like a bunch of Ruby fans that were getting into the game for the first time.
It's always cool as a content creator, and I understand this doesn't apply to the general player base, but as a content creator, it's really fun when you can represent like your community in game and they can represent you and each other. And then the community is not just a social media thing. It actually can take part in the game together and do things. And like when I say represent, I'm talking about like he's saying here with like guild tags and stuff and guild names, right? Like imagine you go in a co-op and instead of 4 people, it's, I don't know, let's just say 16 people. And like 4 of you are from one guild, 4 are from another. 4, you know, you get it? It's just fun. It just adds an extra layer of dynamic to the multiplayer experiences.
This is something that I really want to like signal boost and let you guys know. So if you go on the Hoyo Labs website, I will leave a link in the description and pinned comment of this video. I'm going to let my Discord know. I'm going to let Twitter know. I'm going to let the YouTube community know. But if you go on Hoyo Labs right now, you should get a ping on your account that says Genshin Impact Co-op with Friends Satisfaction Survey.
I'm so curious why, though, some of these surveys are limited to the social media part of Hoyo Lab and not just put into the game like other surveys, bro. Because I guarantee you, not a large portion of the player base does not use Hoyo Lab. And let's keep it a buck here. The people that play the game they log into the game, they check the mail, they want to get those extra rewards from the mail, they'll click it. Why not put this in the game? It was the same as the other big survey that I tweeted about a couple of months back with big changes in there, that was also just limited to Hoyo Lab, and people were like, why are they hiding this? And it's like, I don't know, I don't get it.
Click on this and it'll bring you to this listing here that says, in order to better build the continent of Teyvat, we sincerely invite you to participate in this survey. Now, I don't think this survey is in-game. This is a survey, and they've done this before in the past with like end-game content. I think Brand Signal boosted this on Twitter a while.
I did. And I still, to this day, don't understand why they're not just put it in the game, bro, because it really does affect mainly the people in the game, not the people that are going on Hoyo Lab or going on Reddit or going on Twitter even. Like, it's the players playing the game. They put other surveys in the game. Why not these that a lot of people deem important?
Go back. This is seemingly only on the Hoyo Labs website. So if you click this, and
I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. This shit gets me so excited. It really does. I would absolutely love this kind of stuff in game, but because of this, the way that they're doing it and stuff, it just makes me think: is it something that I should realistically be getting my hopes up for? Because I've done this time and time again now, and I hate when passion about something gets kind of dimmed because of these situations where this happens and feedback is given and we don't see anything, sometimes for a year, sometimes for 3 years, and sometimes just never. And I get they can't implement everything, but my biggest philosophy when it comes to Hoyo and other games is communication is key. And after these surveys have been filled out, after a few months and like inputs have been tallied by the community, I think it'd go a long way to release like a little dev discussion saying, we ran this survey, this was the response responses with percentage answers, so this is why we're not going to be taking it further, or this is why we're not going to be doing this, or this will be happening, but we're just not sure when yet. Like, I think a little bit of communication about these surveys and the responses to them would go such a long way with the community, instead of people just feeling like they're not read at all and shoved off to the side. I
saw a little bit of the listings and I was like, wait a minute, I have to make a video on this. So they are deliberately asking for cooperative gameplay mechanics and systems and implementations with friends in mind. So I just want to kind of run you guys through this so you guys know exactly like what they're kind of asking for. Thinking back to when you first started playing Genshin Impact, what did you do most often with friends in co-op?
I am telling you right now, my most cherished times in Genshin Impact was exploring Dragon Spine specifically in co-op because of the slight difficulty spike and just how incredible it was for the first time.
So for me, it would most definitely be open world. I mean, Genshin Impact feels like a really great, just like metaverse. If you know, like I know that's like a meme term nowadays, but like I genuinely sometimes I just get on Genshin Impact with my friends. We're all collectively in the world together, but we're in a Discord call. So
I would love to get on call with Arnold and actually go over a lot of these discussions and bits and pieces of information. Arnold, if you're watching this, hit me up, bro. I feel like we could have a good chat about stuff like this.
In a call talking to each other, but we're in the world with our own characters, and it feels like togetherness. Like we're all together, we're in the same world, we're fighting mobs, we're collecting mats, we're kind of existing in the world of Teyvat. And I think that's like the heart and spirit and soul of like what I would love for co-op. It's like guilds, people coming together. Obviously 4 people at a time is very limiting. I wish there was something that they could do to like enhance this even.
That's what I'm saying. I think if they are going to be doing this, it would only make sense to increase the cap from 4 to an ungodly amount more. Even if it's 4xing it to 16, I think that would be, to be honest, necessary. Otherwise, it's not a large community, right? It's 4 people.
Even more. But for me personally, you know, I mainly focus on the open world. Obviously, I also do co-op for friendship experience and stuff. So domains and weekly bosses and stuff like that, for me at least. Next question they ask is, when you were first able to play co-op in Genshin Impact with friends, what kind of experience were you looking for the most? For me, it was really just kind of immersing myself in the world, sharing in that experience with other people.
See, this is something Genshin have never allowed you to do, right? Being able to experience the main story quest together from beginning to end. Because I'll keep it a buck, bro. That's what I wanted when I first started playing. Don't know if a lot of y'all remember. I thought it'd be really cool to be able to go into it with a full co-op team and be able to go through that story together, whether you had to wait for other people to catch up or not. I thought that would be an incredible experience, and I was severely disappointed when I found out that you couldn't actually do that. So that would be my number one. My second would be kind of a mixture between the first 3 points here. Teaming up to challenge high difficulty bosses, but also high difficulty areas, and then fixed party to do raids and events like an MMORPG. I would click this one because this is the element that I would want them to add to Genshin now the most, by far.
Exploring together, collecting chests together, doing... I wish we could have done quests together.
Very interesting that they actually put this option in here to even consider this.
But unfortunately, you can't really do that, at least not...
I think... I know I'm pausing a lot, I apologize. I think before they ever add MMORPG aspects to Genshin Impact, I deadass think Hoyo would rather just create a gacha MMORPG game. I think that is more likely than them adding all of this stuff to Genshin, other than in the UGC game mode, like I say.
Holistically, the way that I thought it would be. But really, it's just about exploring the world, doing things together, like, you know, going, like, if everyone has to farm mobs, then everyone gets on together and they go through location to location, farming the specific mob that you need or the specific world boss. So it's just really just getting on and defeating mobs and experiencing the world together. When playing with friends in co-op, which of the following activities most often leads to a negative or unpleasant experience?
Geniusification TCG. That's kind of funny.
The Stygian Onslaught was absolutely like horrendous. I also think the most recent co-op event that they just had, the combat co-op.
No. Oh, the thing is, here's the thing. God damn it, dude. I feel like this question is worded in a very specific way. I feel like this isn't asking... Putting this as an answer isn't necessarily saying, like, Stygian Onslaught was bad. It's that the co-op experience was bad. And here's the thing. I actually think the times where you could co-op in Stygian Onslaught were great. I feel like the fact that you couldn't co-op in the later floors was actually one of the biggest downfalls of it, right?
A lot of people discoordinated, people using different characters, not know.
That's just skill issue though, and that's gonna be a thing even if they add MMORPG aspects. Let's keep it about. People will not just fucking suddenly learn how to read because they're part of an actual group. Like people are still gonna fuck up so much, bro. It happens in MMOs as well.
How the buffs work, just a lot of miscommunication. Unless you're playing with people you know and you're all in the party together, like a Discord server or something. Like combat-oriented content in co-op with people you don't know is not a good time. Stygian Onslaught as well, you have to basically be playing with whales in order to get like the high-end content cleared.
Yeah, but exactly. You can't even do the co-op for the high-end content, so you can't even play with the whales. I deadass believe, dude, the fact that you cannot co-op for the later floors is a net negative. I feel like being able to... Whales being able to carry lower-level players would be so good for the game and the co-op experience, dude. Like, it just would. It'd actually give them a chance without spending money to do stuff. But maybe that's why it wasn't a thing, because they want everyone to spend money. I don't know. I don't know the be-all and end-all of why that wasn't a thing. But even as a content creator, bro, being able to, like, carry lower-level players through that endgame content is something that I would cherish. I would love that. But that's a selfish request.
At the very least, so I would probably just say the high-end combat for me. Besides content that can be actively played in co-op, do you consider the following to have a in-game social function? I'm gonna say no with the appearances.
I feel like barely anybody gives a fuck about this, dude, honestly, in terms of an actual social function. Like, ain't nobody looking at your character and going, oh, that's a nice skin.
Like outfits, weapon skins, envisaged echoes, like cosmetically appealing attire. Like, I don't really care about that. That doesn't really do much for me. I will say, however, it is very motivating to see a power showcase.
I actually agree. A lot of people are going to disagree with this, but I think leaderboards is, I wouldn't say a net positive, but I feel like it's a good thing to have, because at the end of the day, a lot of people ain't going to give a damn about leaderboards, but for the people that do, it's just a cool little thing to work to be even better for. That's why a lot of people like Akasha, right, and try to become the rank 1 or at least top 1% of their main character or something. I think as long as it doesn't become an actual pay-to-win experience where leaderboards are giving you primos and stuff for being like number 1 or specific things, I think it's fine.
Challenges you've completed,
that'd be fine, by the way, if it wasn't a gacha game specifically. If it was like an MMO where it's not pay to win, that shit is amazing, being like rank 1 when it's all about skill. But that's just not the case for Genshin.
Leaderboards, I love stats, I love statistics, I love seeing how many characters people have that are friendship 10. I love seeing, like, I always go on people's accounts and just see what characters do they have in their showcase, what you know, what name cards do they have. It's almost like your Genshin Impact like battle report. It just says a lot about you as a player, how many achievements you have, etc., etc. So I really like these last two. Big motivator on the power showcase as well as the collection showcase. For me,
I think one thing I would like Genshin to add is what Wuwa did, and they basically took a lot of inspiration from MMOs and add titles for doing certain achievements. I think titles are a phenomenal thing. Being able to scroll through like the co-op list or your friends list and seeing that people have got certain titles, whether they look cool or they're a really difficult achievement to get, is just a really fun thing for sociability in the game. Is that even a word? Social? I don't know, bro.
Me personally, but cosmetics I don't really care for. When interacting with friends, do the following: how satisfied are you? I actually really like both of these. And they've been adding on to them whenever they add a new permanent piece of content, like Imaginarium Theater and Stygian Onslaught.
Sure, I feel like they could do more with the avatars, name cards, character showcases, to be honest. But the power showcase, like the challenge records, is going pretty well. I feel like it could definitely be developed on. I would put 4 stars because 5 stars, in my opinion, means it doesn't need improving upon or changing. So I would always put 4 for these.
And so I really appreciate and like both of these. If the following... Oh, so they're talking about leaderboards here. Okay. If the following types of leaderboards or records were added to the game, how would you like them displayed? Available to everyone.
Yeah, make it optional. Make it so that the player can decide if they want it visible to everybody or completely private or only visible to friends. I don't see why you wouldn't make that an option for people to choose themselves.
Really don't have any issue or qualms with people seeing how I play the game. Maybe that's just a personal... For me, that's a personal, like, badge of honor. But I know some people could see that as, like, oh, I'll be judged, or people will say I don't play the game or I don't like the game. I don't mind any...
I would be more inclined to make a new account if it was available to everybody and visible to everybody and just never collect a single oculi.
Anybody checking out my account personally, but obviously if you do, then, you know, put the ones that you expect. Compared to when you first started playing Genshin Impact, how was your overall frequency of playing co-op with friends changed in the most recent version?
I don't know what Arnold's gonna say here. Mine, I used to do co-op every single day. right now, I don't remember the last time I did co-op unless it's somebody asking to like play the liar for me or something. I deadass don't. I barely ever play co-op nowadays.
So I'm a very specific individual when it comes to this question. I do co-op every patch. I'm gonna put on screen how many times I've done co-op in the game since launch, but I do.
That's for domains. I don't know what mine would be for this.
Co-op every patch because you get double friendship experience, and because I read my character's lore, their friendship lore, when they get to friendship 6, getting friendship experience, like optimizing friendship XP is important to me. So I literally only do co-op to get my character to friendship 6, and then I stop doing co-op until I get another character that I want to get friendship 6 or friendship 10 as soon as possible. So personally, it has changed in that regard, but I would say overall, it's probably decreased significantly ever since the game released, because outside of my personal necessity for content, right? Reading lore, reading weapons and stuff like that, outside of that, I've probably done co-op less and less organically. So I'm going to say significantly.
Me too. I feel like that's going to be the case for a lot of players. Let me know in the comments what you think.
What are the main problems when you play co-op with friends in Genshin? Oh boy, where do you...
Too few things to do, yes. Lack of challenging content that requires cooperation, yes. Lack of fun game modes or events specifically designed for friends to play together. Game modes, yes. Events, I feel like they're all right, to be honest, for the co-op events that they do. Wind Trace is coming back when. Playing with friends on different devices is difficult because of controls. I don't really know about that. I don't care if people are playing on mobile and I'm on PC. I don't think it makes too much of a difference. The in-game communication and interaction tools are not convenient enough. Chat pings and emos. I think they're fine. Imagine if Genshin had proximity chat, bro.
Start. No in-game communication. I could probably pick all of these. There are too many things to do in co-op. Oh god, yeah. There's few things to do in co-op. Yeah, I cannot do our conquest or open.
I'd pick all of them other than the playing with friends on different devices, because I've never heard people complain about that.
I think it's bullshit that you can't open chests with someone that like leads you to a chest, or like you lead them to a chest or whatever. Like you can't collectively get the same chest. You have to get the chest in their world and then go to your world and get that same chest.
Well, that's a tough one though, because logistically, I actually don't know how that would work. If you're going into their world, how would the coding for that work? Any coding majors in the comments, let me know. Because like, if you go into someone else's world, you're technically in their realm, right? And then if you open a chest, what is he saying? Like it should automatically open in your world as well? But then what if you've already opened that chest and you open it in another world? Then the game would have to communicate with your world to be able to tell that you've already opened it and it doesn't exist. And if that entity doesn't exist, then it just wouldn't be open and you wouldn't get the rewards. I feel like Eminem sometimes, but is that how it would work?
I wish there was a way to overlap co-ops, like to overlap people's worlds together, to collectively show like, oh, this is this person in their world. Like, I don't know how they would do that. Obviously, they'd have to change like their coding and whatever. Probably complicated, but yeah. Lack of challenging content that requires co-op for friends to complete. Lack of fun modes. Playing with friends on different devices is difficult because of controls. I would probably say lack of challenging content, because just being realistic, I don't need co-op to complete content in the game.
Yeah, but then this is where I feel like it's kind of a catch-22 with the answer from earlier, saying that Stygian was the thing that people had the least fun with when it comes to co-op and the difficult combat events, because then they're going to read that and see that that's a problem with co-op, and then read things like this where it's a lack of challenging content, and then it's like, well, what the fuck do we do? It's such a tough one. Like I say, I don't think Stygian was really a problem with co-op. I think the fact that you couldn't co-op the later stages was actually the problem. And the event was pretty fun, bro. It just was. Just because people can't read doesn't mean the implementation of co-op was bad, at least in my opinion. I still had fun with it, even when people couldn't read, to be honest. But that's because I'm a content creator, and it was just fucking funny.
Co-op makes me complete content slower, because the more people you have in your world, the more they scale the mobs up. So if I'm by myself and all my characters are built, I can clear content faster than I have for co-op. So, there is a general lack of challenging content, I would say, because there's no reason for other people to be in your world if you can already beat the content yourself. I personally just would like co-op for the company factor, if anything. So that's just me. Looking ahead, what do you think of Genshin Impact releasing more content suitable for co-op? So there's
I would strongly look forward to this. I think it should be a thing. Absolutely, bro. Hey, we're going to Nordcry where all factions are converging. Let the player base converge as well.
Specifically asking for this game. We're not planning, I'm not asking in the context of other games. For this game, how do you feel about implementing more suitable co-op and socializing content? I strongly look forward to it. I want that so bad.
Me too.
I've wanted this for years. This is the reason why I'm making this video, by the way. This is the question. All of the others are obviously built off of this, but like, I want more co-op. I want more reasons to play with my friends, to play with my community, to have like a stronger sense of community, like to kind of work towards similar goals together. So absolutely that one. For the future co-op content you might be interested in, how appealing would the following types of gameplay be to you? Open world
Okay, let me start at the top. High difficulty cooperative challenges like dungeons or bosses that require good coordination and are challenging. That would be my number one. That would be my absolute number one.
Exploration for special areas suitable for co-op. 5 stars.
Also, that'd be amazing. An open world exploration area specifically for co-op where like imagine puzzles where all 4 players have to stand in a certain spot to activate like pressure plates and stuff in a different order. God, yeah, God, it's a dream, but I don't want to get my hopes up, bro.
I want this, absolutely. High combat content, I want that too. Honestly, I you know, if someone's not the most OP mega hacks player, I can help them out. Sure, I'm not too crazy about this. This is almost kind of like what the teapot signifies.
Casual social spaces, they almost always just end up becoming redundant, right? Or turning into something weird. If you have like a social space where anybody can go. I always just remember Final Fantasy 14 and Limsa Laminta, bro. Like it was a space that when I started playing, everybody kind of just converged around to chat to each other, and then it started turning into basically a fucking open world strip club. But then it also had really cool things happening, like people going to play live music in the square and stuff. It became notorious for better or for worse. And then you always think of like World of Warcraft RP worlds, right? Where, what was it, Moon Guard, was it? Or something else? Where it ended up just getting a terrible reputation over time because it was one of the biggest social spaces in gaming history at that point.
Casual competition, friends-only leaderboards. Oh, I actually like that. Friends-only leaderboards would be fun. PvP combat.
Oh, God. All right, listen, I'll keep it about... There's a way that they could do it where it would be fine, and it would be adding 2 separate ways to do PvP. Whale bait PvP, right, where constellations and everything are enabled, and then a different form of PvP. None of them should have rewards tied to them, by the way, at least in my humble opinion. Not primo rewards. Maybe titles and stuff would be fine. But they should have another option where it is Hoyoverse built characters, and that's it. So, like, you can select a character, but it's built by Hoyo. And we know what the fucking Hoyo builds are like, bro. You're getting fucking the R1 weapon C3, and then the shittiest artifact set known to man. You're getting noblesse for every character, right? But what I'm saying is, they should all be the same level, be the same power, be the same skill, everything. Like, well, not same skill, that's up to the player. But it should be an absolutely one-to-one matchup based on the builds. If they did it those ways, I think I'd be fine with it. I think I'd deadass be okay with it.
Personally, I don't care about PvP combat. I'm sure there are people that would want that kind of content, but regardless,
Can you imagine, bro, being able to, like, go, like, let me just say, just as an example here, like 16 versus 16 PvP in a Natland war area or something? I think it'd be just interesting. I think it'd be fun.
Asking for your opinion on all different factors of co-op content, so I think this is important. This is this is massive. This is fucking huge. This is the reason I'm making this video. Looking ahead,
wait, I thought the last one was.
Which of the following best describes your ideal way to interact with friends in Genshin Impact? And the option that they have here, establish large communities like guilds or unions with a unified name and activities. That sounds like a guild, clan tags, and leaderboards / like guild dailies, guild.
If I had to select one on this, it would be establish large communities. I think that would be a net positive, but again, I struggle to get my hopes up for something like this for Genshin. For the UGC, I could see it, but for the actual main game, I would love if this was ever a thing. I would love it.
Weeklies, guild monthly goals. I've
been asking for this and raid mechanics and stuff for years, just like Arnold.
So badly. Everyone pick this one, please. Yeah. I know you might like single player. The game is going to be single player.
If you pick establish large communities, it is not going to change the single player aspect of the game. I'll keep it a buck. You're still going to be able to do pretty much everything, and whether it's events and stuff that are kind of targeted towards co-op, it's always going to be an option available to everybody, right? I think being able to make guilds and unions and stuff would be a great thing for the game.
No matter what, adding guilds does not take away from the single player experience. Yep. I want guilds so fucking bad. You guys have no idea. If you already like playing with people, then having a guild just means that you'll be able to have your own guild regardless of how big or how small it is.
Hopefully, I've never reacted to an Arnold video before, but hopefully this video can also signal boost him as a content creator, because he is fucking phenomenal. If you like the Genshin Impact lore, I don't know what you were doing not watching this guy. And also, obviously, he knows what he's talking about. He has great ideas, like even in this video, so.
I personally love the idea of guilds. I've wanted this for years. Yep. This is my absolute, I want this more than anything. And that is why I made this video.
I would like guilds, and I would like 2 more things. Skip button and remove the daily fucking grind limit so that you can't farm this thing on this day. I think it's absolute dog shit.
That is why I am signal boosting this to you guys. That's why I want more people to know about this survey. It's on the Hoyo Labs website. Please select guilds so we can potentially get guilds like a year down.
I'll put the link in my comments as well.
The road or in the future of the game. I really want that. Like, I want this more than anything in the game. More than repeatable end game complex content. Like more than anything. Like, besides like being able to replay old events, like guilds is probably the next best thing I want. So that is absolutely what I want. I really hope that we get some updates on this in the future. And with all that said, gamers, that is the survey. Again, I just wanted to let you guys know it is on the Hoyo Labs website. So I hope you guys will check it out. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description and
let me know what you think about this whole situation. I am hopeful with a side of skepticism, of course, which I think is very normal for the player base that have seen these surveys before and nothing come from them. I do think it would be an incredible thing. And Arnold, if you do watch this, hey, if you ever play Elder Scrolls Online, bro, hit me up. It's got everything you're asking for, literally. I love you guys. Thank you for the support. We hit 370k subs, which is fucking phenomenal. Thank you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you all on the next one, gamers.